fully support the BBI-1 in all its elements as presented at Bomas. That position has not changed. However, since the task force is collecting further views on the document to develop the implementation framework, we commit to actively participate and also engage Mwananchi so that we ensure that the issues therein remain people-centered. We have noted with great concern the manner in which the BBI popularization rallies have been conducted so far. The discussions have mainly been on personalities and positions of the political class. This is stark contrast to the original objectives of the course. We are desirous of the shifting the discussions back to the people and their issues. In this regard, we have resolved as follows. Okay, let me just.
Very well.
My name is Dido Raso, MP for Saku, the great county of Marsabit. We fully support the BBI process. In this regard, we have resolved as follows. We will mobilize, participate, and encourage all Kenyans to attend rallies already announced. We will ensure the mainstreaming of other stakeholders, including business people, farmers, professionals, youth, religious groups, and civil society in this process, and not just politicians or elites. We propose additional rallies to facilitate greater participation, inclusivity, so as to promote wider understanding of the BBI document and its capture of people-centered issues. 4, we urge the BBI task force, led by Senator Yusuf Haji Committee, to urgently release the schedule of public engagement meetings, preferably in every constituency, to harness the opinions and suggestions of Kenyans in all their localities. 5, funding to the judiciary remains an issue of concern to all progressive Kenyans. Access to justice is greatly hampered by continuous underfunding. Okay. The Chief Justice has spoken publicly about this on numerous occasions. It is our proposal that a minimum of 3.5% of the national revenue be allocated to the Judiciary Fund. Minority communities feel isolated in the current constitutional dispensation. As we progress with the BBI discussion, we must scheme a formula to have them feel included in the nation of Kenya. 7, before the creation of political position and additional layers of government, a Mwananchi Economic and Social Fund must be entrenched in the Constitution with 15% of national revenue to be jointly managed by county and national government and is spread as follows. 1, to deal with challenges of fluctuation in prices facing farmers' produce, including milk, coffee, sugarcane, tea, maize, livestock, pyrethrum, among others. 5% of the national revenue be set aside to finance guaranteed minimum return to all farmers. 2, to support many young graduates leaving tertiary institutions, including TVETs and university, 5% of national revenue be allocated to pay a stipend for a maximum of 5 years while they look for employment. The stipend ceases immediately one is employed. This will be in addition to the Social Protection Fund for the elderly people. 5, to support economic growth and SMEs, which account for 60% of employment, 5% of national revenue be allocated to give interest-free loans to start-up micro and small enterprises, including kiosk, border, and small-scale traders. We therefore wish to announce the people in all our 47 counties will be issuing further dates in due course, as will be proposed by our leaders. Thank you.
Summary, the same thing. Summary. Well done. Thank you.
Haya, asante. Kwa majina naitwa Ali Wario, ni mbunge wa Bura na mwenyekiti ya kamati ya leba. Yangu yatakuwa kwa mukhtasar. Kundi ilokutana hapa imekutana kwa minajil ya kutia nguvu mazungumzo yanayoendelea juu ya BBI. Tumekubaliana kwa lengo na maudhui tutafanya mikutano ya BBI katika kaunti zote za Kenya. Tutaanza na Nakuru tarehe 8, lakini mshororo itaendelea katika kaunti zote za Kenya. Kwa nia, mazungumzo yanaendelea sasa ni mazungumzo ya wakubwa na wanasiasa. Tunataka kuigeuza iwe BBI ya mwananchi ya kawaida. Mtajiuliza kutoka tukubali BBI. Tumeambiwa ripoti iko wapi? Ripoti ile je, imefika kwa mwananchi ya kawaida? Tutakuwa na msukumo ripoti ya BBI ifike kwa mwananchi ya kawaida, isikufe hapa katikati. Yaliguzwa mambo mawili muhimu ambayo sitaki kuyasahau. Moja, 5% ya rasilimali ya taifa itengwe kwa minajili ya wakulima katika nchi ya Kenya. Pili, 5% itengwe. Kuna matatizo kubwa ya wawajiri. Watoto wetu, vijana wetu hawana nafasi za kazi. Ili wajimudu kwa muda fulani, 5% ya rasilimali ya taifa itengwe iwe kama mfano nafasi ya kazi kwa vijana wetu. Kwa uchache, hiyo ndio muktasari kwa Kiswahili. Mahakama. Tulipendekeza 3.5% ya rasilimali ya taifa iende kwa uhuru ya mahakama. Uhuru ya mahakama itatambulika iwapo mahakama itakuwa na rasilimali ya kutosha kuweza kufanya kazi yao. Bila rasilimali, mahakama haitoweza tekeleza wajibu wake. Si haki jaji mkuu kuomba kila asubuhi. Ni haki 3.5% ya rasilimali ya taifa itengewe mahakama waweze kutekeleza kazi yao kwa njia huru.
Five questions. We are going to take, thank you very much, members of the press. As you can see, today we met in Naivasha. We were 173 members who managed to attend. We had apologies of our colleagues who traveled out of the country and a few others who had functions in their constituencies that were not able to come. The number was 37 of the people who gave their apologies. We also look forward to, in our next meeting, as like-minded leaders, that we are going to be over 250 members of parliament as we work together to build this country and build bridges of friendship and towards development. So we'll take about 5 questions, if need be. If our statement was very clear, then we'll leave it there. Chamutai? Our statement is very clear. There is no parallel BBI rallies. There will be only one BBI rally at any given time. And like we said last week, we were in Mombasa in huge numbers, even if we were not recognized. Some of us were not given the opportunity to be recognized in that meeting, but we were there in large numbers. We shall be in the next meeting that we are told it will be either Kitui or Embu of Meru. And because our contribution to this process is to ensure that it reaches every part of the country, as written in our statement, we are enhancing the number of the rallies for everybody. For everybody, we welcome the president, we welcome the deputy president, we welcome the leader of opposition and the leader of political parties across the country, that is Mudavadi, Wetangula, Gideon Moy, and many other leaders of different political parties. We welcome them to these rallies because we want to build bridges of friendship. We agreed last week that we've ended the discussion of us versus them. So in the Nakuru rally, we are expecting His Excellency the President, if his schedule permits, His Excellency the Deputy President, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula, and all other leaders of party, including Dida and Okuru Okot. We want all Kenyans to meet in Nakuru and demonstrate that this us versus them is over. So there are no parallel rallies. Number two, for every rally where we shall take the lead in terms of organization, we have agreed that we will fundraise for the local leaders. All ourselves will make contribution towards the local leaders to be able to organize logistics for the functions. Since this is a people-driven process, we don't believe that anybody should be paid any allowances to attend a meeting. Ours is just to logistical support, public address, podium, organizing the place, ensuring that we have ambulances and so forth to ensure, because the crowds will be many and security is put in place. We will work with all 47 governors, and we expect the governor of Nakuru to be there to also join us. The senator of Nakuru is already here. The MPs of Nakuru are here, and all of them are going to work together to ensure that that Nakuru rally demonstrates the real message of building bridges. Number two, sorry, I don't know your name.
You are on record as saying that you support a plebiscite, and there your issues don't really require a referendum. Notably, the issue of judiciary funding. And, what if you have the chairman of the budgeting committee, National Assembly, there, the Parliament? Do you think it's could sort it out?
The judiciary fund can be sorted out and has been sorted out by Parliament. But because of procedural and bureaucratic processes, it's been impossible for the judiciary to function. You remember the Chief Justice is complaining about the manner in which the money is being released from the Treasury to the judiciary. Now we are entrenching it in the Constitution to ensure that it is a particular figure, just like CDF is a particular figure in the law, just like all money going to counties, no less than 15%. We are making it protected in law and automatically presented to the judiciary to manage their own resources without the situation where the Chief Justice has to beg for resources from the executive. And we are very concerned, very concerned that now it's becoming the stick and the carrot, that you have to do this for the judiciary to get this. That must come to an end, and it can only come to an end when we have a proper constitutional amendment that safeguards the judiciary. The third question, and you keep introducing yourselves. Okay.
Now, you have attended several rallies that they seem to have been organized by other entities. They have been hostile. There are those who feel that if you organize them in your stronghold, they might be countered for what they have done either in Mombasa and DC. What is the message that you are sending?
Correct. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. We actually, one of the reasons why we decided that we must bring to an end this idea of some group going for a rally, another group not going for a rally, is because we realized it was not achieving the objective of uniting the country. It was counterproductive. To that end, we said we will go to those rallies. I remember all of us who went to Mombasa rally, even though Moses Kuria, Mheshimiwa Ali and Aisha were denied an opportunity to speak. But at least they sat there and listened like any other citizen, despite all the humiliation that went place. But that was a step. Mombasa was a step. Because some people, we had to take a bold step, you know, for the sake of the country, to try to bridge the gap that people were trying to politicize that process. For us, for every rally we will organize, we will make sure that every shade of opinion and every leader from different political parties and every place will not only speak, but they will have also a right to speak their mind without being forced to sing a particular recital before you can say your point. So everybody, in fact, if you come to Jubilee, where Jubilee got more votes, we will make sure that if you come from ODM, you have a right to say, I am an ODM member, I support my party, but I have these views about Kenya. Yes. We will not orchestrate or a situation where we'll force anybody to sing the tune of our party leader or our deputy party leader for them to get an opportunity to speak. We will make sure that every opinion is shaped. Number two, we have said the meetings that are already been put in place initially, we want now, because we want to put the country together, we want to ensure that the steering committee, a steering committee that is all inclusive, is put in place to ensure that those functions and rallies are properly organized. We also invite our friends to join a small committee we will put in place that will organize the Nakuru rally and subsequent rallies so that they will be known us versus them. It will be our all-inclusive rallies. Citizen Boda Boda will speak. The last one? The last one.
Initially, you termed, the rallies that have been going through like a popularity meeting. Geared towards some ambition, possibly 2022 succession. And right now, you're saying, you're going with it. Isn't it double standard?
Thank you.
Aims towards achieving some political agenda. That is one. Number two, we're going to make the document public in terms of, you mentioned, you're going to ensure that at the constituency level, the Wananchi gets to know
correct
what the BBI should be about. Are you going to print your own document?
Thank you. We are made aware that there is finances that were given to the team that is working on the BBI report. Resources are public resources, taxpayer money. We want the RG committee, once it is constituted, to quickly avail resources to all the chiefs across the country and the assistant chiefs for those documents to be distributed to every citizen of this republic. We will be able, from the resources we'll contribute from our pockets for organizing meetings, we can't possibly print enough copies that can reach every citizen. We will try where we can, but that is tokenism. What we want to ensure is that all copies are printed with the resources that have been expended for this process. In terms of whether the functions in Western and Kisii were political, I am very happy that in your question you never mentioned Mombasa. Once we attended the Mombasa meeting, if you notice something about Mombasa, our presence as Jubilee leaders and people who have ideas across the board changed the narrative, and you remember Mombasa was only about issues. In fact, the 2 or 3 MPs who wanted to introduce personality issues were actually made even our friends in ODM uncomfortable, because we who believe in issues have come to return the river to its course. And that course is about issues and uniting the country. We will not allow in our political, in our public engagements, any conversation that will be geared towards one side. We'll talk about Kenya or individual. We'll never discuss an individual. And I want to say that the people who are going to speak in these meetings, there is only one condition that people must keep up to. The condition is that you must be a Kenyan. And number 2, you must have the patience to listen to hustlers. That is boda people, common mwananchi, common farmers, matatu drivers, touts. If you are averse to Mama Mboga and the team, then you might find yourself bored in those meetings. Ours is Mama Mboga-based conversation. We want to take that conversation to the very simple and local level to ensure that this country is moved forward. The last question.
My name is Will Injil, working for...
That's the last question.
Is referendum necessary?
Oh, okay, sorry, thank you. We will cross the bridge once we see the document that is moving forward. If you look at remember there is only, I want everybody to hear this, there is only one BBI report.
Exactly.
yeah, that report already proposes certain constitutional and legal amendments. Once the draft is finalized, and we believe that draft will be faithful to that BBI report, then it will not be for Murkomen or any other person here to determine whether the referendum will be there or not. It will be determined by the issues that the people have been presented. Once those issues have been progressed, it will dictate whether there will be a referendum or not. For avoidance of doubt, the people who are here support fully a referendum that will capture the issues, and unconditionally a referendum that will capture the issues that were captured in the BBI report, and the issues that are going to capture the matters of, we don't have another BBI report. I hear my colleagues saying Bomas. There is only one BBI report that was launched in Bomas. That is it. And that is what we are telling the country. We do not believe in other underhand deals and night meetings that are going to come up with documents that have not been validated by the people of Kenya. And if the people of Kenya in the ultimate report say we go for referendum, we in this group have said that referendum must be brought quickly and must be decided fast to avoid further politicization of the country, and we move back to development that is going to affect the people of Kenya. Asanteni sana. Okay, please. Ya mwisho kabisa. No, we will close there when we come there. Those are the issues. Thank you.
Political issues. All done. The politicians.
Hizi ni ya nani? Sijui ya nani iko chini. Yangu iko hapo chini. Mwenye hapo chini ni ya nani? Asante sana. Hiyo ni ya asante. Na watu wamepata